Wade Peary here, Star Spangled Sports. Want to rattle off some stats for you about Dustin Johnson's incredible, historically dominant Masters performance this past weekend. Very happy for Dustin Johnson. I love Dustin Johnson as a player. He is incredible to watch hit the golf ball. I mean, I could watch Dustin Johnson hit balls on the driving range pretty much all day. He is one of the smoothest and sweetest drivers of the golf ball you're ever going to find. I totally agree with Brandel Chambly that nobody really makes the game look easier and more effortless than Dustin Johnson. It's funny how he mentioned how he was nervous on Sunday for Augusta, but it shows you how much this victory meant to Dustin Johnson, how he was crying in the after the final round in all the interviews. Shows you how much this one means to all the players, and especially for a guy like Dustin Johnson, who's had a number of really weird mishaps in majors over the years. But there's no question, Dustin Johnson, his 25th victory on the PGA Tour, second major. He was already in the World Golf Hall of Fame before this major victory. This is only going to further cement his legacy as one of the greatest golfers ever to pick up a golf club. It's going to rattle off some stats for you that Dustin Johnson accomplished in this Masters victory. A lot of these stats can be found on my article on StarSpangled.sports.com. So check it out. 20 under. Lowest major championship final score ever. All right? Yes, you read that one correctly. There are only two other players in a major in PGA Tour history to score 20 under par after 4 rounds. Henrik Stenson and Jason Day. So, mind-blowing stat. Lowest 4-round score in Masters history. The two players closest to that score were Jordan Spieth in 2015 and Tiger Woods in 1997. They both shot 18 under, 2 shots worse than Dustin Johnson. DJ joined an elite club of players that have won both at Oakmont and Augusta National. The list of players that have won at both places, this is literally one of the finest lists of golf names you're ever going to see out there that have won both at Oakmont and Augusta National. The only other players that have done that, Jack Nicklaus, Gene Sarazen, Sam Snead, Ben Hogan, and Angel Cabrera. That is an incredible, incredible list that truly shows you that Dustin Johnson is among the titans of the game of golf. So, fewest bogeys in Masters win. Brandel Chambly has noted that to win the Masters, you have to avoid bogeys and you have to avoid big numbers. Dustin Johnson only had 4 bogeys in 4 rounds at Augusta National. The second lowest number of bogeys recorded by a Masters champion was 5, and that was recorded by only 5 other players in Masters history. Trevor Immelman in 2005, Jimmy Demaret in 1940, Jack Nicklaus in 1965, Ben Crenshaw in 1995, and Phil Mickelson in 2004. The next category, greens in regulation. Most greens in regulation hit since 1983. Dustin Johnson hit 60 of 72 greens in regulation this week at Augusta National. Tied for the most greens in regulation hit in 4 rounds since the Masters started keeping hole-by-hole stats in 1983. There are only 2 other players that have hit 60 greens in reg in 4 rounds. Tiger Woods, 2001 Masters champion, and Nolan Hinkey, who tied for 6th, 1992 at Augusta. That is an incredible amount of greens, and when you hit a lot of greens in golf, it usually leads to very good things on the scorecard. So Dustin Johnson, an incredible weekend at Augusta National. Here we go. His record in the majors in 2020. You ready for this? He shot 26 under in all 3 majors this year in 2020. Second on the PGA Tour right now in all the majors was Bryson DeChambeau at 18 under. Third, Xander Schauffele at 11 under. Johnson finished first, second, and 6th in the majors in 2020. That is an absolutely incredible season just on its own. This is going to go down as one of the best golf seasons of all time. There's no question in my mind. Most consecutive subpar rounds at the Masters. Johnson now has 11 consecutive subpar rounds at Augusta National. Of course, he had 4 consecutive rounds under par this past weekend, 4 in 2019, and he also had his final 3 rounds in 2018 subpar. So that gave him 11 consecutive under par rounds at the Masters. That's one better than Tiger Woods' streak from 2000 to 2002. So keep in mind, that was some of the best golf Tiger Woods was playing in his entire golf career, ladies and gents. And in case you didn't know, Tiger Woods is the greatest golfer ever to live. So, I thought it was funny how Dustin Johnson said 2020 hasn't been good for a lot of people out there, but it has been incredible to Dustin Johnson. This season will go down as one of the most statistically brilliant seasons in golf history. It'll be right up there with some of Tiger Woods' best years. Dustin Johnson won the FedEx Cup. Won by 11 shots to Northern Trust. Finished runner-up in the BMW Championship. And, oh yeah, he didn't finish worse than 6th place in all 3 majors this year. So, when it's all said and done, and the golf historians have to dive into Dustin Johnson's 2020 season, they will marvel at its brilliance. But the funny thing about Dustin Johnson is you have to ask yourself, how much more does this guy have in the tank? And I'd have to say a lot. So it really looks like the guy is just getting warmed up. So pull up a seat and butter your popcorn, because we are getting to witness one of the greatest golfers ever to play the game. Wade Peary, Star Spangled Sports.